Hey everybody, this is PastorDustin submitting for draftmagic.com, and today we finally got the release of Born of the Gods. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of Swiss. I was kicking around whether to do Swiss, 8-4, whatever else, but I figure the format's still young, so I want to make sure that I show you at least 3 rounds so you can get some good strategies. If mine are good, you'll see me win a whole bunch. If mine are terrible, you see what to play instead when you watch my opponents. So now I'm just waiting for this event to fire, and we'll get into it. I am doing the more standard 2 Theros and 1 Born of the Gods pack. There is an option here to do all Born of the Gods only, which is my personal preference, but I didn't think it would be as popular on the site. But if you would like to see just Born of the Gods, let me know, and I might get some of those drafts in later. Just let me know in the comment section. Alright, here we go. We open up Arbiter of the Ideal, which is a giant thing. I'm not sure that it's the direction I want to go. We also have Drown in Sorrow, which is going to be a constructed all-star in that mono-black deck, especially against mono-blue. Archetype of Endurance, another giant one. Got a big wall. Inspired, not very good. This one's pretty strong if you're going to go for that white-red deck, the aggro one. This is nice to tap things down. Not really into the mill. Fearsome Temper's not spectacular. I might wheel it though if I go for the white-red aggro deck. Hold at Bay. Again, not too impressive. Starbreaker, that would be pretty decent. Assuming that everybody's going to have an aura the majority of the time that this comes down as a 4-drop. I've got some removal here on Way to the Underworld. I always enjoy removal. Sphinx's Disciple, when it becomes untapped, draw a card. Okay, so that's also underwhelming. Yeah, I think we just end up going over here for this white card to go with the possibility of getting the white-red deck. Although here we could get the white-blue deck. This is a really good heroic enabler. Let's see. Alright, so draw X, where X is your devotion to black. Find wall to pick up. Okay, so if you are going to go for the white whatever heroic deck, you've got to pick these guys up in spades. Okay, so Asphyxiate is pretty good. You always like strangling the creatures. Explore an Eidolon, not spectacular. Bolt, it's good, but I'm not going to pick it, especially over the Skyguard, being in white. That's a good trick, but not over the Skyguard. Agouge is terrible as far as I know. Loyal Pegasus might be decent. Elite Skirmisher, I did first pick it, but I don't think that it's as good as this one. I think this can get through for a lot more damage because it has evasion. But yeah, if I can pick up that Skirmisher on the way back, I think I'll be happy. Same thing for the Loyal Pegasus, if I can get a lot of creatures and a lower trick count. But for right now, I think I'm just going to try to stick with the white heroic picks. Speaking of white heroic, this card looks awesome. If I can get down a whole bunch of creatures, redirect, kill something. Looks like there's targeting involved here, right? Yeah, you get to target your creature, so that'll trigger. Follow the Hammer though, that's really good. Although I don't think that it's necessarily better than Acolyte's Reward in the right situation. Now this you just get to do whenever you want to. Acolyte's Reward you have to have a particular situation. But this will help me to continue to cut white. The only other white card in here is the Radiance. Radiance is terrible, so nobody's going to pick that. Floodtide Serpent can be really good if you want to just keep bouncing things. I think 5 might be heavy for that deck. Brawler's bad. Bolt's not as good here. Not interested in the white-green heroic deck. I don't think that one's good now. Mind Reaver, that's pretty bad. Culling Mark, Crypsis. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to stick with the reward. And we're pretty on par right now for the mono-white heroic deck. Let's see what else we get. Perplexing Chimera, not really what I want to be doing in that kind of deck. Mischief and Mayhem. Well, if you can get to that point, that's a blowout for any kind of heroic deck, so I'll think about it. Eternity Snare is really good if you can cast it because it keeps it tapped down, so anything that they have that's got a million enchantments on it stays down, so that's not as bad as it looks. Necrobite, not where I want to go for this deck. That's just going to trade down. Not where I want to be right now. I'm not going to be black devoted. That's just filler. I'm just going to let you gain a life there. So I think But I'm going to end up picking this green card, even though I just said that the white-green heroic deck is probably not good. There's not a whole lot in there for me. So what else do I have? And rather the Ether. Okay, so that one could be pretty good. That would keep us in the white-green. Oracle's Insight. A little too heavy for my tastes. Don't want to do white-black. Inspired, probably not good. Especially in this style of deck. Not interested in grabbing lands like that. Retraction Helix might be a good tempo play, because you can target your own guy to pump him, as well as take something else out. And the Impetuous Sunchaser could be something that you would enchant up, so it's really between these three. I think for now I'm going to take Unravel the Ether, just because it's currently in my colors. I'm seeing some other green cards here. Aspect of Hydra. That could be strong if it ends up being a green devotion type deck. What else do we have here? There's another heroic one, so we are being fed green heroic. Not a plan I went in with. Let's see, Dawn to Dusk. Okay, so it can return and destroy, so that looks like it's okay. Too far outside. Okay, so this is pretty good, just as something to target with. So it's going to be here. One of these two. I think I've got to stay with the Nyxborn Shieldmate. On its own, it's terrible, but with the others, it goes fairly strong. I'm not positive I'm in green right now. If there's absolutely nobody in green, that stuff will come back around to me. Oh wow, that's still in here? I can't really... I can't play it. I'm not anywhere close to that red-green deck, but that's a huge signal that red-green is open. Okay, so we've got a little bit of land fixing here, which from the white-green deck, I think they've got some heavier things overall. So I might get a little higher on that. Gain 3 life doesn't look really that great. I don't see anything in here that I'm in love with. So I'm just going to end up taking that. Okay, we've got Nyxborn Wolf. It's got a bestow cost that's a little high. This could be okay. You've got to get to the late game, so again, it's taking the deck away from that like white-red hyper-aggressive deck and making it into more of a curvy type deck. Okay, this looks like it could be decent. Turn something into a mana creature, get a card off of it, and trigger. Revoke Existence looks like really strong removal. Yeah, so I'm going to pick up the Revoke Existence, even though I've got a couple other things in here that I may have wanted. We'll see as the format gets older if that was the right choice. Again, here is more Aura Destruction. Not willing to get into black for either of these. I feel like Weight of the Underworld should have gone higher. Fearsome Temple could be a good trick, but I think now I'm leaning toward white-green. I've got some decent ones. This one's really good. Holy cow! That made it around. Okay, that's awesome. So Elite Skirmisher made it in. That is a snap pick. This guy's in. He's double green and a 1/1 to start with, so I'm not sure that he's going to be any good. But the double green can help you out with... Let's see. No, I haven't picked it up yet. Hold at Bay is a possibility, because it does target a creature, and so it can save it as well as pump it. I doubt it'll make the deck, but we'll see. Okay, this one might just be some filler. I think Culling Mark's not really that good unless you're just going to attack in with one particular. Okay, so we've got 2 of these Oathsworn. Let's see, heroic in total. We've got 1, 2, 3. Temple of Silence. One's worth like a tick. Okay, so we've got Nessian Asp in here, which is just an overall strong card. Let's take a look at our curve. Okay, so we are missing those high-end ones, so that could go. I don't see anything else in here other than Last Breath, It's really that great for white-green. So I think it's going to be the Asp. I can hide this one. I doubt I'm going to splash red for this. We'll keep in mind that we have it. Right now we've got 8 creatures, and let's see. One, two, three, 4, 5. 5 of them are heroic. So we can pick up some more heroics, but we do seem to have a decent amount for now. And favorite hoplite is where we want to be. This is a spectacular 1-drop, and we're missing the 1-drops right now. Other than that, there's only 1 green card that's not very good. And Chosen I'd be happy to play if that gets back around to me. There's nothing in here that I am ridiculously scared of making it into someone else's hands. There is a Griptide, but I'll be pretty happy to take the favorite hoplite. While we're waiting for the next one, as far as things to target, we have 1, 2, 3. I only have 4 things to target, so we might want to pick up a little bit on those, but we do have some decent removal, so I'm pretty happy with where this is going. It's not the archetype I wanted, but that's alright. Okay, what do we do here? Triad is not where we want to be. Burnished Heart can be strong. Snarecaster is good. I'm not sure if it's good in this deck or not. I mean, I'd be happy to play it as a 23rd card at the very least. But I think that Burnished Heart might even be better, especially if I want to splash. I've got that red card that would be pretty good, just a strong card overall. And if I end up getting some of the higher end green stuff, I might want that Burnished Heart. I've got Raid's a solution. I've already got some removal for the enchantment, so I'm not sure that that's where I want to be. So I can't see anywhere else to be other than Burnished Heart. So I'm going to pick that. Okay. That'll have to go by the wayside. Let's see. Got Chosen by Heliod, which is a fine cantrip that targets. Elder's not where I want to be because I'm not that interested in gaining life. I'd rather be targeting or getting heroics. Crusader's out of color. The green is really dried up here, so I hope that this is just a fluke. I don't have a couple of green guys next to me. But I'm happy to take the Chosen by Heliod. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's a really strong one. So we've got Leaf Crown Dryad, which I can't imagine that I'm going to pass up. It's really a 4-drop, which I'm pretty dry on. Chosen's there, which would be strong. Staunch-Hearted Warrior might be good for this deck, but it's going to wheel. Normally that's a terrible card. We'll see if it is still a terrible card or not. Other than that, we've got Feral Invocation, and that could be a nice trick. I don't know that it's any better than Leaf Crown Dryad, though. Leaf Crown is just strong overall. If you're forced to, you can play it as a 2-drop, whereas Feral Invocation, you have to have a creature. So I'm going to take Leaf Crown Dryad here. Be happy for Chosen. Probably going to wheel either Staunch-Hearted or Feral Invocation. We've got a very aggressive deck right now, plenty of 2-drops. Let's see. Cavalry Pegasus. Do we have humans in this deck? We have, well, that's not really going to get played as a creature, but 1, 2. He already has flying, so he doesn't count. That's a warrior, huh? Okay. 3, 4. Okay, so we have 5. So we actually do have some humans. So that might be the pick. Savage Surge could also be decent in this. I think I'm more likely to get the Savage Surge back than the Cavalry Pegasus, so I'll pick that. We'll do a quick color sort. We're about even. Now we do have enough green to where this could be decent. We're still pretty aggressive, so that extra mana is probably going to go toward Monstrosity, something along those lines. Other than that, this heroic ability isn't really worth it, so I don't want that in there. That's just a bad card. The only other thing that I might pick would be the Fade into Antiquity. Let's see how much artifact or enchantment removal I have already. 1, 2. I think 2 is probably enough, especially in a main deck. So I'll pick that up as a solid 4-drop. Okay, here I've got the Battle Master. It fills a high drop spot that I'm missing, and if you can get the effects, it really blows up awfully quickly. The only other things in here are Shredding Winds for sideboard, or the Alseed. Pick this up. I think I need to start worrying about tricks at this point. I'm running pretty low. Is Griffin any good? I've got both of the colors. It can turn into a 5/4 flyer. So maybe there. Nothing else is really that good. The Sable's a 2-drop, but I've got plenty of 2-drops. Let's do a quick trick count here. Or not trick, but just targeting, even. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I really need more things that target. So this is an easy chosen by Heliod. I don't think that I'm gonna play. Well, if you can Snarecaster something down to get through a skirmisher, that's pretty strong. I've already got a lot of, well, I would say enough enchantment removal. So I'm gonna go with the Snarecaster. This is the only thing that I would ever play. It appears as though nobody's in that deck, or else this would have been picked up by now. So I'll keep Prowler's Helm just in case. I don't think that I would play it. There we go, Starcharted Warrior Wield. So pick that up for our empty 4-drop spot. I don't think I would play this. Reel the top 5 cards, put a creature or enchantment card. Probably not. I've already got 27 counting all of this. So this entire last pack is going to be gravy. So let's start cutting out the stuff that should not make the deck. I don't think that I want to play Griffin in this style of deck. I might change my mind later. Hero's Downfall. So that's worth like a couple of ticks. What else here? Got a Battle Master. We already have one. We could have 2. What else? Opaline Unicorn could be decent. Nylea's Disciple might be nice. What's our color? About even, so that's a possibility. I'm missing some 4-drops. I don't know that's where we want to be or not. Got the Snarecaster, but that wheeled way late. You know, there's nothing in here that I really want in my deck over what I currently have. So I'm just going to go ahead and redraft and take my Hero's Downfall and get my 2 ticks out of it. Okay, so I'm missing a Magma Jet pretty hard. What else? Rare of Dissolution, Hopeful Eidolon. There we go. So there are no other white or green picks other than the Hopeful Eidolon. I'm happy to have it. It's great for my 4-drop slot. It's a nice thing to target, so I'll slam that. Battlewise Hoplite, you will be sorely missed. Keepsake Gorgons going around. Okay, so we can have the Alseed to target. Do we want to play Battlewise Hoplite? No. I've only got the Burnished Heart, so I'm probably not going to be doing any splashing. I did want to get greedy there, though. Sedge Scorpion is fine. Courser's pretty good. I don't know, do I just want the Alseed to target? I think I'm just gonna keep this aggressive and pick up Sedge Scorpion as a low drop. Okay, so I've got a Nemesis Immortals, Fan to Antiquity, Elders, and Divine Verdict. I think that it's a toss-up between Divine Verdict and Nemesis Immortals. Divine Verdict is going to get played more often, and this is a more aggressive deck. So I think that this is going to be the kind of thing that maybe clears out a blocker that I couldn't get through. I know I'm not going to see that Nemesis back. I just don't know if, you know, my game plan would have to go pretty poorly for there to be enough creatures in my graveyard for that to work well. So I think normally that's a better card, but just not in this particular deck. Okay, so here, this is again too high. So I've either got a Feral Invocation, a Courser, or a Snarecaster. I think with how aggressive this deck is, that the Snarecaster might just actually be it. I can get down some early beats with, let's see, Snarecaster, Dryad, Pegasus, Skyguard. Yeah, not as many of these are creatures, but if I can get a whole bunch of Snarecasters through and just continue to beat, that might be the plan. In general, I think Courser is better. Quick color sort, we're still about even. I'm gonna pick the Snarecaster just because it looks like we're more aggressive. And that is a late Shipwreck Singer. Nobody's on the blue-green or the blue-black plan. Got Battle-Wise Valor as a trick. Nothing for green. So I'll pick up the trick. This is turning into mono 2-drop deck. Hunt the Hunter is an excellent sideboard card, especially since you get to target. So it's really just up against another sideboard card in the Shredding Winds. So I'm going to pick out the better sideboard card in the Hunt the Hunter. Glare of Heresy is another great sideboard card. Nothing else in here for me anyway. There's another Snarecaster. Suppose I'll take the Ray in case I get a really enchantment heavy deck that I'm playing against. And 33, I'm going to have to do some serious weeding out in this deck. Nothing I want, so I'll take the thing most likely to block me. I'll take more enchantment removal. If I was to play one of the two, I guess it would be that. Not that I would do it, but do I have enough for mono on one of these? Let's see. Take the wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So if I really wanted to, I could go mono white here. I assume that I have enough green to strengthen it, that I don't want to do that. But with all these low drops, man, I could play like 14 land, because I don't have to worry about the different colors, and just have a crazy aggro deck. Mono white would also make my Acolyte's Reward a lot better. So just looking through my white, I've got about 15 that I'm pretty excited about playing. Some of these are sideboard cards like Glare Heresy. This one's not quite as good in mono white, then it's just 5 costing 3/2, so I don't think I'm going to go with the mono white plan. Let's see what we've got to offer for green here. So there's not that much in green that I'm just absolutely thrilled about playing. Sedge Scorpion is strong, Dryad spectacular. Mischief and Mayhem is the thing that made me think about green in the first place. Asp is a great finisher. The Battlemaster gets +3/+3 permanently every time that you target him. So we've got 20 here. So let's take a look at it, converted by mana cost. So this is what we look like so far. At the moment we've got 14 creatures, so I could probably do with moving that count up. I'd like to have plenty of creatures that have heroic, but then more tricks to target them, because if you're just targeting them one each, it's not necessarily that great, so I'm going to value the tricks a little bit higher. But right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that have heroic. So I'm having a terrible time cutting here. I'm not going to play the Acolyte just because there's not that much green. You know, if I get an Oathbreaker, an Oathsworn, it's pretty good. But other than that, I can just sit there. Commune with the Gods. I could probably hit a fair amount. There's 17 creatures in here, and a lot of the tricks that we have are enchantments. So there's an enchantment, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, so that could hit a lot. Unravel the Ether. That's one of my very many destroy enchantment things. So get ready to Solution, the Ether, Fade into Antiquity, the Starbreaker. So I've got 4 things to board in that take down enchantments. Right now I just have Revoke Existence. It's nice and low on the curve. Some other things that I'm on the fence about is Hold at Bay or Battle-Wise Valor. They're fine tricks, but I'm just trying to see what is the real balance between these two. But for now, I'm just going to have to get a suggestion on land. It's unfortunately heavy on the forests, just because you've got these doubles here, which I'm not thrilled about. Tempted to move up one plains and down on a forest, because it is worse for me if I don't hit all of these than if I get stuck over here with the Oathsworn. So I'm going to take it like that and submit this guy and see if I am doing anything right. I will see you guys in round 1, game 1.